In this video, you'll see how to aggregate and resolve operational issues using AWS Systems Manager OpsCenter. With OpsCenter, you can view operational work items across AWS services from one central location, investigate issues with contextual information, and remediate using quick solution steps. To begin using OpsCenter, you first need to set it up. Let's navigate to OpsCenter to get started. OpsCenter lets you aggregate events and alerts that occur across multiple AWS services. These issues appear in OpsCenter as a standardized form of operational event known as an Ops item. You can configure CloudWatch events to automatically generate Ops items for any AWS service that publishes events to CloudWatch events. First, however, you need to grant CloudWatch events the appropriate service permissions. Let's click this link and review the documentation on how to do this. By default, Amazon CloudWatch Events doesn't have permission to create Ops items. We can grant permission to CloudWatch Events by creating a new AWS Identity and Access Management, or IAM policy, as well as a role to attach the policy to. Let's copy this content from the documentation, and then go create the policy in the IAM console. Switch to the JSON tab and then paste the policy definition. Now we can give the policy a name, describe its purpose, and create it. Now we're ready to create the new role that will use this policy. Verify that AWS service is selected as the type of trusted entity, and then scroll down to choose CloudWatch Events as your use case. We'll accept the defaults here and then give our role a name. Now we just need to attach the policy to the role. Here's the policy we created. The policy is now attached to the role. We'll use this role whenever we create a rule that causes CloudWatch events to generate an Ops item. In preparation for that, let's copy the role's ARN. Now let's return to OpsCenter and complete our setup. Optionally, you can provide the ARN of the IAM role here to create some basic CloudWatch rules for the common operational events shown on the screen. Let's do so. You can build on the foundation of these basic rules later by modifying them or creating your own custom rules. Now that we've completed the initial setup, as you can see, we don't have any Ops items listed yet. None of our basic rules have been triggered. This page provides high-level OpsCenter summary reports. Now let's switch over to CloudWatch and review the event rules that were created. This is the list of basic rules that were populated into CloudWatch during setup. Let's look at one. This rule will create a new Ops item if an Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud or EC2 instance enters the stopped state. By default, the rule does not specify an Amazon Simple Notification Service or SNS topic, but you could edit the input transformer for the rule so that it pushes to an SNS topic every time it is triggered. This would allow you to receive notifications when an EC2 instance is stopped, or to integrate OpsCenter with a third-party incident management system. In addition to the basic rules created during setup, you can also add your own rules to create Ops items. Let's create a new rule that is triggered when an SSM automation document fails. For the target, we only need to specify an SSM ops item. We'll use the role we created earlier that grants the appropriate permissions for CloudWatch events to create a new ops item. Now we just need to give our new rule a name, and then we can create it. Next, let's test the rule we examined earlier by stopping a running EC2 instance. If we set up OpsCenter correctly, CloudWatch events will generate an ops item when the instance stops. Now that the instance has stopped, let's go back to OpsCenter to see if anything has changed. As you can see, we now have an open ops item. Let's drill down to see more. Click the ID to view more details. This page provides an overview of the issue. Here, you can see some additional details, such as a brief description of the issue. OpsCenter also provides a list of related resources for each ops item. You can click on any resource ID to get additional information about it. For example, let's click on this resource ID for the EC2 instance we stopped. The description here provides additional technical details about the instance that could be useful in troubleshooting the problem. To assist in your investigation, you can also see associated tags. Current CloudWatch alarms, details from AWS config, CloudTrail logs, and CloudFormation stack resources. If you need to, you can add other related resources to this issue. In this case, let's add a load balancer as a related resource. Now all the related resources relevant to investigating this issue are organized in one place. Scrolling down, you can see similar ops items the system has identified. This can provide contextual information as to how this type of problem was solved in the past. Each ops item includes runbooks that have the potential to fix the issue. If the ops item was automatically created by CloudWatch events, then the list reflects the recommended runbooks for the specific issue. If the ops item was created manually, or by specifying ops item as a target of a CloudWatch event, then the list includes all AWS Systems Manager or AWS SSM automation runbooks. In this case, let's try to remediate the issue by executing the Restart EC2 instance runbook. The runbook executed successfully. Let's confirm that the issue is fixed by returning to our list of running EC2 instances. As you can see, the instance we stopped is running again. Now that the issue has been fixed, let's go back to OpsCenter and change the status of the ops item. You can change the status of an ops item at any time. Since we have fixed this issue, let's change it to resolved. Now this ops item is no longer active in the system, although you can still refer back to it or reopen it if needed. You've just seen how to aggregate and resolve operational issues with AWS Systems Manager OpsCenter. Thanks for watching. Now it's your turn to try.